If we look at the planet Earth being like a car on a road ahead, we are now at 2010. We face several challenges. We can read in the paper every day. There are challenges when it comes to energy, climate, food, wars, etc. I will not focus on all these challenges. I've got only 10 minutes. I will select two. And one being the climate crisis, which is something that has been heavily debated in the past couple of years. Over the last 6 months, I would say that this debate has given way to other debates. It is not on the top of the agenda anymore, even though I know there is a lot of work going on when it comes to solving climate issues. And I think the fact that we don't talk about the crisis doesn't mean that there is no crisis. There is still a big problem in this area. We have CO2 emissions which are increasing, and they are increasingly increasing as well. So this is still a big, big issue. And I think in the end of the day, the Stern report gave evidence of that 2 years ago, and I don't think that lots of people challenge that this may cause, in the end, big, serious problems for us as a global community. Not in terms only when it comes to the economy, but also on more fearful areas. And then we link the climate crisis to another big challenge and big crisis which is coming increasingly up on the agenda, and that's the energy issue. We are dependent globally as the big energy source being fossil fuels. 80% of all energy we consume comes from fossil fuels. So energy is a big issue. And in particular, if we look at the demand, IEA is expecting the energy demand to increase by almost 50% in the next 20 years. They also expect, which is quite dramatic, that the supply of energy will only increase by 15%. So we will have a shortfall in the near future when it comes to energy. And this challenge is probably, most people believe, in the nearer future than the climate crisis. We face a hole in the ground in perhaps only as much as 10 years when it comes to energy, solving energy issues. And we saw it with, as I said before, we had oil prices at $147 a barrel, which we cannot sustain long term. The economy cannot sustain that. And that will hamper economic growth, which we have seen, but it will also trigger off issues concerning energy security and conflict issue, which I think we see that also in global politics today. And at the same time, if we want to resolve really the climate crisis issue, we need first to resolve the energy issue. So if we look at positively, if we may find strategies to resolve the energy issues, we probably will be able to stand a good chance of resolving issues when it comes to climate issues. We need to create a sustainable energy consumption. And here the options we have are conservation and energy efficiency. Conservation, obviously, to isolate your house. Energy efficiency, well, district cooling, district heating are two good examples of energy efficiency solutions. And then the question yourself, where should I put my money? Short term. Where should I focus my efforts? Short term. We will not, and we know that we don't have plenty of time. We don't have 50 or 100 years to implement these strategies. We are short in time and we are short in money. So we need something that gives immediate impact when it comes to CO2, but also quick impact when it comes to economic return. Today, district heating accounts for 55% of the heat supply in Sweden, more than half of the market. 4 million people meet district heating every day, either at home or at work. And you have it basically in all cities of Sweden. And that has helped us to increase the efficiency rate when it comes to using the energy spent on heating from less than 40% to above 80%. And at the same time, we've been able to reduce CO2 emissions by 25%. And that is exactly what Håkan showed a minute ago. And my final slide, I mean, here you have a big opportunity elsewhere in Europe and in the world. Sweden, as I said, 55% penetration of district heating. In Europe, in general, it's only 6%. I think France is one of the countries now where you see a lot of initiatives being taken and lots of investments being spent in this area right now. Not only district heating, but also district cooling. Germany is another example. But still, we are coming Europe as a whole only from 6% market share. If we managed to double the market share of district heating to 12% in Europe, you would cut CO2 emissions by 10%. And that's equal to all emissions you have in France, including production, transportation, cars, etc. So that's a huge impact that is possible in this solution. The success in Sweden was that the politicians took the initiative in this. It was not business, it was the politicians that took the initiative, and not on central level, on local municipality level was the initiative taken. And then that created a market for business, companies like mine, to move in and to sell their things. We as a company cannot create this market. It has to be created by the politicians. And I think that goes for a lot of these big solutions we need to implement very rapidly. I think the initiative is with the politicians and has to be there. I think my time is up. Thank you very much.